Hi, I'm Cynthia Erivo.
And I'm Leslie Odom Jr.
And you're in studio with
The Hollywood Reporter.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for being here. I've admired you guys for so many years as performers, the magnitude of your talent, and now to see it in Harriet, I just had chills.
Thank you.
So, 2016 was a big year for you both, winning Best Actor and Actress at the Tonys for Hamilton and The Color Purple. Mm-hmm. And now you're being able to share another big year together with Harriet. What is it like to be able to be a part of this film together?
That's pretty awesome. This is my good friend who I love dearly, and just being able to share big moments like this is always really special. It means you're not on your own, and you get to share some wonderful things with each other, learn with each other. I'm having a good time with him.
Yeah.
And everybody should be lucky enough to have a friend like Cynthia Erivo. She's just fiercely loyal, protective, supportive, and and also like a talented, wonderful scene partner too. It's a dream.
Now this film is such an incredible and also important piece of storytelling. Did you face any challenges when it came to playing these roles? Because I imagine there's a sense of pressure when it comes to playing someone like Harriet Tubman and William Still.
For me, it's more a responsibility. That's really the thing that I was feeling, to be able to try to tell her story as fully and as truthfully as I possibly could, and I take the responsibility very, very seriously, and wanted to do as much as I could to make sure that I could do that, to make sure that I don't let anyone down. And there is the want to make sure that people are happy with what they see, learn something from it, that I do her justice, that she is happy, because I do believe that she has some agency in this, Harriet. So yes, I guess the challenges, there are many of them. For me, we had long days in the middle of the forest at night when it was freezing cold. One of those days was in the water at 37 degrees, and you're trying to figure out how to make that work and get rid of any fear you might have, to be able to do the story, do the job fully. I had made the decision to do as many of the stunts as I possibly could, to be a part of as much as I possibly could, because I wanted to be able to tell the story fully, and I felt like that was what was going to encourage that.
As a follow-up, what was it like to be able to play the father of the Underground Railroad? Because not many people have been able to see his story come to life in this way.
Oh, I think, I imagine there'll be, William's story will be more fully told at some point. I've said before too, I don't think we're seeing the last of Harriet either. Maybe the first, but I don't think we're seeing the last of a Harriet Tubman story. I hope that the floodgates are open now, that we'll see more Harriet stories, that we'll see a William story. Because there's, you delve a little bit into those narratives that he compiled. The Underground Railroad was a book also, of escaped slaves, that when they would find themselves on William's doorstep, he risked his life to record their stories of courage and bravery and cunning, and to make it to freedom. So I think there's lots of movies. I think there's lots of movies in there.
A big parts of this film was music and faith. So how vital was that in telling the story, and specifically telling Harriet's story?
Very vital, and both factors are recorded about her. She is known to have said that God would give her messages, and she would follow them. One of which is in the film, is when she was told that she needed to go left because there was danger somewhere else, and she needed to go left. So she went left, and it turns out that there was a siege happening. So they had been infiltrated, and they would have been cut off if they had gone in the other direction. And she would speak about it often. And most of her friends who knew her would say that they didn't know if that was the case, but she believed it, so they were inclined to believe it too. As for music, it's just a big part of the history in general. It was used as a way to communicate, a way to stay safe when you needed to tell something to someone that might get you killed in some cases if it was heard spoken. And singing is the way in which she communicated to let people know she was there or when she was leaving. I just happened to be lucky enough to be a part of being able to do that.
Yeah, and I think you had mentioned that finding Harriet's voice was different than your own singing voice.
Yeah,
so how were you able to kind of zero in on what Harriet's voice was?
Well, for me, music is like a second language. And it's probably his second language too, or first, maybe. I guess knowing my voice well enough, I know where the facets of my voice are and what I have in it, and it was about looking at her, trying to see into her, figuring out where she might place her voice, where she might speak. I know I'm a soprano, but I didn't feel like that's what she was. I didn't feel like that's where her voice lived. It felt like just because of the work she was doing and the work that I was doing for her to bring her to life, it felt like it was deeper, more grounded. So both Kasi and I sort of set about trying to find out what that might sound like, and we sort of found a place in my chest, sort of like an alto sound to tell her story.
And what was it like working with Kasi Lemmons?
She's incredible. This woman is a genius, and she's extremely kind, and did the work that, because I think she understands what it is to be an actor, because she is one and has been one, and now has put that experience into her work as a director. I think she did the research that we would both do, if not more. I think she spent 7 weeks, something of researching, reading everything.
I think it was longer.
Yeah, she had a year, and had met every.
She just did pure research.
Just pure reading and research. She put everything into this, and that first day on set, she and we sort of locked eyes. We just knew what we were here for. And I knew every day why she was here and what she wanted to do with this, and I knew that she was pure of heart. I knew that she was using Harriet as her guiding light, her guiding force, and there was just a fire in her to be able to tell this story.
And you had mentioned that you had a spiritual experience when you filmed the freedom scene. Do you mind talking a little bit about that?
So the day was terrible. It was rainy and grey. The sun did not really come out at all. It was dark the whole time. We had a lot to shoot. We had been going for a really long time, and I had about 5 different changes throughout the day, and we had gotten to maybe the second to last one, and I got a message that Kasi wanted to shoot the freedom scene, the crossing over into freedom, and I was just like, there's no way we're going to get this done. We're not going to get it done. Because I'm stubborn, I do the opposite to what most people would do. Instead of slowing down and saying we're not going to get it done, I was like, right, I'm going to get ready on time because I know we're not going to get it done, so I'm going to be ready before everybody else, and I'm going to be right there, and I'm going to be ready to shoot this. Everyone was under the impression that this would not happen. So I get to we're on like this hill, and I have to pull up in a horse and carriage, like a buggy almost. And I get there and get out of the carriage, and the sky starts to clear. So we're like, okay, that's great. And then we get to the point where I jump over into freedom, and the sky literally parts. The sun comes out. It's this bright orange, yellow, red ball in the sky. The sky is like stripes of purple, and it's just mad. And then to my right is a double rainbow. And I was like, no one is going to believe that this is real. everyone is going to think that this is CGI. And I'm looking around, everyone is in tears. We all were just like, okay. And I think for me, I was like, all right, good one. It's really great. Because we all just knew that it was not of us. It wasn't a normal occurrence. It felt like it was a spiritual moment. It felt like it had come from God and from her.
Yeah.
And I think we were all willing to admit, even the hardest of hearts couldn't have escaped that fact. Yeah.
And even seeing that scene, it was picture perfect.
Yeah.
And
we shot it maybe once.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Now, also in this film, you have Clark Peters,
Yes.
Janelle Monáe,
Yeah.
Jennifer Nettles, Joe Alwyn, who is also so incredible in this film. What was it like to be able to work with such a talented cast, and also many of them fellow musicians?
Yeah.
You know, whenever these things happen, you know, sometimes they take a long time to happen. I know, you know, they've been talking about making the Harriet Tubman movie for a really long time, and you know, whenever they happen, whenever I'm lucky enough to land into these moments, I feel, you know, blessed and lucky that for whatever reason it waited around until I could be a part of it, you know, because if it had been made 5 minutes ago, I wouldn't have been a part of it. So, yeah, it was, you know, for such a time as this, you know, it was like, it felt like those people had gathered together in front of the camera, behind the camera. I think, you know, everybody just felt lucky to be there.
Yeah.
Between all these musicians, did you ever have any jam sessions on set? I mean, you have to take that opportunity.
I don't think we did. We? No, we didn't.
We didn't. I did, because I remember I was like devouring Janelle's album, like during that time. So I did take I tried not to annoy her too much, but I did take the opportunity to like talk her ear off a little bit about that record.
We went to see her.
We did.
We went to see her in concert whilst we were doing it, yeah.
We did. It was like, she hadn't even started. It was her first date. It was like her first second date. She played in Canada.
Yeah.
And we went.
Yeah.
She was awesome.
Yeah. This was just before we started, so yeah.
So what do you guys hope that people take away from this film?
I hope that people see this film and understand that they have the power to change the world. That if a person who has very little means can find the strength and power and will and determination within themselves, even though nobody else believes that they have that in them, could risk their lives to save many people and achieve that, we don't really have any excuses. So I want people to know that if they put their minds to it, if they want to change things, they can. And I want to make sure that people look at this and see that we come from a past that is bitter, but the sweetness is that someone took the responsibility to move us forward, but we should look to that as a warning that we shouldn't go backwards, and we should keep trying to find the sweet people in this world that will keep changing it.
I love that. All right, well, thank you guys both for being here. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you, Nia.